What about, so outside of, this is Bitcoin companies we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're all pretty aware that Apple sat with about, what, $250 billion on their balance sheet in their treasury for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
That's been inflating away. If they just started accumulating when Saylor did, they'd be in a pretty dope position.
Actually, I think I put them on my essay. If you can just see their cash and marketable securities. They got 165 billion. I mean, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google, they're all sitting on loads. And if you just look at it as a percentage of their equity value, it's sort of mid-single digits. The argument is, well, yeah, you're not really making much off that. I mean, they won't be holding it all in cash. Typically for mega corporations like that, they'll be investing in different securities, treasury bonds, et cetera. But the idea of holding some percentage, even if you can't get to 10%, and you're holding it in an asset that is appreciating at 100% on average over a 4-year period, then that becomes something that eventually I think companies won't be able to ignore.
I mean, MicroStrategy's percentage of equity value, that'll go above 90% probably fairly soon. Like it's going to become a base of the entire company.
Right. Yeah, you could probably do a historical graph on that. It's just been going up.
Yeah.
Why do these companies hold so much in their treasury? Is it a reserve? Is it because it's in lots of different foreign bank accounts and it's too expensive to bring the money back into the US? Is it because they're just too successful? They don't know what the hell to do with it?
It would be a mix of that for sure. I mean, if you got a global company like that, there's serious tax consequences for repatriating. That like you wouldn't imagine you need that much cash for M&A or for major capital expenditures. So it'll be a mixed bag.
It'd be interesting because, again, this might be another thing that feeds off the back of the ETF beast, in that, someone like a BlackRock might be thinking, well, why aren't we holding this in our treasury? We're recommending it to our clients. Our clients are seeing appreciating value. Why wouldn't we be doing it? Or even some of the people, like individual investors, may start to think about it for their companies. And the thing is, you talk about that 100% increase in value. We're still at a pretty flat point in the S curve. If everyone starts to realize the MicroStrategy trade, this could be way above 100% a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Just fucking do it.
Yeah, we'll see. I think we're a ways off from there being significant accumulation by some of these big companies. I mean, of course, the last cycle you started, when you were seeing some of those announcements, those were quite shocking to see, right? When you saw Tesla and things like that. But
it's a shame they bottled it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Square did it as well, didn't they? They put something. Was it 50 million?
Yeah, it was about 10% of the cash they had or something like that.
Yeah. It felt like there was going to be this kind of like chain reaction of more and more and more. I thought Tesla was the one that would really drive a bunch more to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's still I think the problem is it's still a scary asset for some people. I think there's still that 1, volatility, 2, regulatory fear, 3, I think some people just don't understand it.
Yeah. That's why I think that's part of the reason why the ETFs would be interesting to see what kind of impact they have, because it'll feel familiar to them. One of the things that you were seeing on TV over the last week was, oh, well, now you can buy $50 or $100 of it. You don't have to spend $40,000 on a Bitcoin. It's like, hey, that was always the case. But
that is true. Yeah. If you open up your brokerage account, you can see it's $50 for a share of Bitcoin. Because some people say, how do you buy shares of Bitcoin? Like, people ask that question. I don't know if you ever get that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, can I buy some shares of Bitcoin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so rather than seeing that 44,000, or where are we now, Danny?
Something like that.
Yeah.
44,000.
Oh, we are?
About.
Rather than say they can buy $50 worth. I mean, it changes a lot. I know it's something like my dad's. I always think about dad. In my dad's mind, that'll be like, yeah, that's a lot easier to understand.